Minutes after, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce myself and our team here and tell you a little bit about Community Investment Corporation. And then while people are still coming in, you'll get to all hear the meat of the program, which our Director of Housing and Homeownership, Patty Gonzalez, will talk to you about. My name is Danny Nee. I'm the Executive Director for Community Investment Corporation. Today we have Patty, who is our Director of Housing and Homeownership. We have Jeanette Gonzalez. She manages our social media for us and helps out with our marketing. And then we have Nisa, who I think she's just maybe showing up as Community Investment Corporation at the moment. She's our Director of Marketing and Communications. And we're just here to tell you a little bit more about the Mortgage Credit Certificate Program. My guess is many of you have heard something about it, but maybe don't know the details or want to know more about the details and how it might be useful to you. So if you would advance the slide, Jeanette. All right, so who is CIC? We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We are based here in Tucson, Arizona. We've been around since 1996, and we have programs and services all over the state. We are a financial empowerment organization. We work in economic development. And our focus is really about giving people access to the full benefits of the economy. We will serve basically anyone, but we do focus on the people who have been underserved by traditional institutions, or may have, in this case, may have a harder time getting into home ownership. We work in three primary areas to give people access to the economy. They're really about asset building. So we work in housing. We run this mortgage credit certificate program, and we run multiple down payment assistance programs down here in Pima County. The mortgage credit certificate program is statewide. We also did a lot of work during the pandemic with eviction prevention here in Pima County. We also have an entrepreneurship program. So we do small business funding to businesses and people who are unbankable. So they can't get traditional loans. And so we have alternative types of lending products and capital that we give to them. And then we also work in the education field. And we do that through engaging with parents and schools. But what you guys came here to hear about is mortgage credit certificates. I'm going to turn this over to Patty. Patty, you can tell them how long you've been working on this, somewhere 25 years or so in this program. So there's probably no better expert than Patty. I would like to let you know too, in addition to us being around for since 1996, in 2 of the past 3 years, we've been voted as the best nonprofit in Tucson by the Tucson Metro Chamber. And part of that is because of how we engage with business, as well at the same time that we are serving people in need. So Patty, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you, Danny. Again, Patty Gonzalez, Director of Housing Programs here at Community Investment Corporation. We will be talking about the Mortgage Credit Certificate Program that's currently offered by the Pima County IDA, and CIC administers them. The program has actually been around since 1991, and I've been administering it since 1995. And it's a program that there's plenty of funding for, never run out of money. And right now I have funds until 2025, and it actually celebrated its 30-year anniversary last year in 2021. So I want to thank you guys for joining us and getting some more information about the program that, again, now you'll see here is available statewide. So that's awesome news. It had been in Pima County for the last 10 years or so. So it's nice that we're able to expand statewide, and CIC is the only agency that administers it for the entire state. So this is going to be your go-to. This is the place to go to get this program. And again, we administer it for the whole entire state. So thank you for joining us. So a little bit about what is a mortgage credit certificate. The MCC allows borrowers to claim a tax credit that reduces their tax liability, saving them money. So this is when we're talking about when they're filing their income tax returns. MCCs are issued by the Pima County IDA, allowing participants to claim a federal tax credit of 40% of the mortgage interest that they pay every year for the life of the loan, and there's a cap of $2,000. So essentially your home buyers will be reaching, in most cases, in every case pretty much, the $2,000 cap. So they're looking at $2,000 annual tax credit for the life of the mortgage. These credits can be claimed year after year as long as the buyer lives in the home and holds the mortgage. If the MCC recipient does not have a tax liability in any particular year, the credit can be carried forward to future years. So what this is saying is we had a lot of people that may have been unemployed during COVID and may have not filed tax returns. The credit actually carries over for 3 years. So they don't lose the benefit, it carries over. And when they start working again or have taxable income is when the credit will kick back in. And an important note we put here is refinancing is allowed and allows the home buyer to keep the certificate. So we're seeing that right now where people that are currently maybe purchasing are coming in higher interest rates and in hopes that rates will reduce and later on refinance to lower their interest rate. And they do get to claim the credit as long as they live in the home. And if they refinance, we issue a new certificate towards that new mortgage. So a little bit about the tax credit and the difference between tax deductions versus tax credits. So a lot of us know that as long as a home buyer has a mortgage, in the past, they get to write off the interest they pay as a deduction. And what a deduction does, it lowers your taxable income. Now, currently, IRS gives us such a high standard deduction that a lot of people don't write off the interest. They don't have enough things to itemize and write off, so they use the standard deduction. The benefit of the tax credit is it's separate from deductions. So even if they don't write off their interest as a deduction, they can still claim the credit. And you'll see here, tax credit directly reduce the amount of tax you owe, giving you a dollar for dollar reduction of your tax liability. So this kicks in later after deductions. And we'll give you an example in a little while on actual tax return to kind of explain the difference. And when we meet with your home buyers, we will actually explain it to them also on their personal income tax returns so that they understand how the benefit will be or how they'll be able to claim the credit once they're in their home. So this means the $2,000 tax savings is a true $2,000 tax credit. So how the mortgage credit certificate works, okay, your applicant, important piece of this is your applicant must apply prior to closing. Okay, so that's a big thing is you have people that are maybe refinancing and are going to try to get into the program. They actually have to apply at the time of purchase and they need to apply prior to closing. We get a lot of people coming in 2 days before closing. You know, they're at the closing table. That's also fine. We just definitely got to get them in the door prior to closing. If approved, they will pay a fee and then they get a certificate that can claim their certificate up to the next 30 years. Now, here's an example. This is currently a loan, a small loan amount, a small interest rate, but it's just kind of for figure the dollar amount to give you an example. You got a $125,000 loan amount at 4% interest. They're going to pay $5,000 in just interest alone. Now, the $5,000 fee, I'm sorry, the $5,000 that they pay in interest, that's what they would normally write off as a deduction. This credit actually allows them to claim 40% of the interest that they pay. So 40% of the $5,000 is a $2,000 tax credit. So collectively, the savings over the 30 years, on average for most people, they will save over $50,000 on a $200,000 mortgage at a 5% interest rate. Okay, so that's what we're seeing for most families that are purchasing that stay in their home for the life of the mortgage. Here you'll see two different charts that talk about on the life of the loan, where they're going to be seeing the credit and how they add up to the $50,000. So for instance, there's an estimate on this $275,000 loan at 5% interest. You'll see there in year one, it's talking about the years that they've been in the house and the amount of interest they're paying. So we'll sit down with your home buyers and say, okay, this is approximately what you're going to be paying in interest. And then the credit gives them 40% of that. However, they're capped at $2,000. So we'll go and show them year by year the amount of credit that they're going to be receiving. But we'll also remind them that the interest that they pay is separate, because since that's a deduction, and also remind them that this is an actual credit. So here's our tax return example, kind of small to read, but I'll kind of highlight what the numbers are saying. You'll see in the very first line is the the amount that the buyer has earned. So this particular home buyer's income is $32,968. Now, the next line on line 40 is when we're starting to talk about deductions. So here is where they are using the standard deduction. In this example, the standard deduction is $6,000. In the previous example, they paid $5,000 in just interest alone. So most people are going to be taking the standard deduction and not going to be writing off the interest as a deduction. So we emphasize that to your home buyers to make sure that they know it's two different things and to make sure they take advantage of the credit. Now, after their deductions, IRS comes up with what they call taxable income. So IRS is saying, we're going to tax you on your $22,000 on line 43 there. So on line 47, IRS is saying, we want from you guys $2,930. Okay, so that's your liability. This particular person did not have a tax credit, so IRS is saying, we still want from you $2,930. Now, if you go down to line 64, you'll see they had $3,027 withheld from their pay stubs. So every payday they were having money withheld. IRS wanted $2,930. They withheld $3,027, so they got a refund of $97. Now, a lot of people tend to get refunds because they have money withheld from their pay stubs. Okay, so you may hear that I already get a refund. So on the next example, you'll see that now they have the tax credit, they'll be getting a higher refund. So the same exact person, same income, their taxable income is the same. It was the IRS saying, we want from you $2,930. Now we kick in on line 64, the $2,000 tax credit, which is an actual tax form 8396, which we will send the home buyer every January, reminding them to look for the letter that they're going to get from the lender, telling them how much interest they paid. And then we send them the tax form 8396 and remind them that they have this credit. So now if this particular person were to plug in their $2,000 credit, IRS is saying, okay, now we only want from you $930. Again, this home buyer had $3,027 taken out of their pay stubs. So which is why at the bottom, you'll see that they're getting a refund of $2,097 as opposed to just the 97. So in this example, you're seeing that they're getting the actual credit refunded to them. Again, every circumstance is different. Every home buyer is different. And we try to sit down with each one of them and explain to them on their tax returns how the benefit's going to work. So the program geography, again, residential properties anywhere in the state of Arizona. And again, now available in Maricopa County, which is big because they hadn't done it for many years, couple decades. And so it's awesome that, you know, it is available to everybody now. Now, what's important is they're what we call target areas. Target areas are economically distressed or economically areas in the community where homeownership is highly encouraged in order to improve the neighborhood conditions. Now, the benefit of purchasing in a target area is there are higher income limits, higher purchase price limits. You do not have to be a first-time home buyer. So they're definitely encouraging people to purchase in target areas. And how to determine if the area is a targeted area is based off their census tract. So here you see you want to visit our website. And on our website, you're going to find a list of what are target areas and census tracts. And then if you go to our website, there's a landing page, the one you're seeing here now. There's a particular area that says you go to program details, target areas. And then once you get to the target areas, there is the yellow section here where you would actually click on there and it's going to send you to the target area map. Now on this particular map, you'll see there it's on real time and it's a statewide target area map. And on there, you'll see if it's in a yellow area, it's considered target, or if it's in the green area, it's considered non-target. So if you're looking specifically at just the map, you'll see there what streets are where you'll see the difference, whether it's target or non-target. And then you also have the option here that there is a search map, the search bar there, if you have just the property address. So if you don't have the census tract, or if you don't find the area by zooming into the map itself, you can actually put the address in there and then it'll tell you, it'll send you right to it on the map and it'll let you know the census tract that it's in and if it happens to be in a target or a non-target area. So that's also exciting news for us here at CIC, is that target area, that map is new. That was just created by our program improvement team here at CIC. So that's exciting news for us also, because it was something we've dreamt of for years. So that's exciting news for us. So more program eligibility. Okay, so first-time home buyers, and by first-time home buyers means they've not owned a home in the last 3 years. Now you got exceptions to that rule, is if they're a veteran or if the applicant is purchasing in a target area. They do not have to be a first-time home buyer. It works with all home types. So single family, manufactured, condos, duplex, townhouses. And it also works along with all loans. Okay, your FHA, your VA, USDA, conventional. We're not looking at interest rates, ratios, anything like that. It works with all loan products. Now, there are household income limits and purchase price limits, and those limits are based off the county that they're purchasing in. The income limit is based off their family size, and there are purchase price limits. And then again, the non-target and target areas will have higher income limit and purchase price limits. So you'll see here on the example to the right on the top, all Arizona counties, those are your Pima County figures. So here in Tucson. So a family of 1 to 2, this particular household, if they're buying in a non-target area, cannot make more than $82,800 a year. Family of 3 or more, the income limit is $95,220. Now, if they're buying in a target area, you'll see that the income limits are higher. So 1 to 2, $99,360, 3 or more, $115,000. Okay, again, the benefit of purchasing in a target area. Below that is your purchase price limits. The first box there, the Pima County, new and existing is the same. So non-target area is $349,000, and a target area is $427,000. Okay, so those will be your purchase price limits to be able to apply for the particular program. All right. Now, I saw there was a question in there about the fees. There is a one-time fee to get into the program. Okay, so there's a one-time program fee of $500, and the preferred time to collect this is at closing. Now, if it is listed as a closing cost or on the CD, then great. That's what we love that. It's going to be collected at closing. However, we do offer payment plans up to 6 months or through the rest of the year. So for instance, they want to start filing their income tax returns in January. We want to try to collect that fee by the end of the year. Okay, so we'll work with the home buyer to see what is something they can afford, what kind of payments, that they can do. Now, that's a one-time fee when they're getting into the program. Now, once they're in the program and they start seeing the benefit of the tax credit, there's an annual fee that'll kick in. There's a $100 renewal fee. Now, this is due the following year after the home purchase. Will also be prorated, and once they start seeing the benefit of the tax credit. So we will send them the letter in January and say, don't forget you have this program, this is how you claim it. And then we give them until March to pay that fee to make sure that they did use the program. If for some reason they did not use the program, we actually waive the fee for that particular year. Now, the fee supports administrative costs. The expenses for us, we have to report to IRS every quarter, every year. We will send every January to the tax credit holders the tax form and explain, the program benefits. We send out newsletters if they refinance and such. We are also looking into free tax preparation for every certificate holder. We are looking to collaborate with local nonprofits that offer free tax preparation to be able to offer this to certificate holders. Now, here's a big plus right now in the community, especially with today's interest rates, is we see this saving a lot of deals right now. So increasing the buyer's loan eligibility. So the first box is an example of how the credit works, which we talked about earlier. It's 40% of the interest that they're going to be paying. So this particular home buyer is looking at a $2,000 tax credit. Now, what your mortgage lenders can do is they can claim that $2,000 as if it were income. So if they divide that $2,000 by 12 months, that equals $166 more per month. And your lender can actually add this to their loan application to help for qualifying purposes. So where we see this kicking in a lot right now is people that may have been qualified for a loan at 4, 5%, don't qualify anymore at 7%. And by just entering this $166 a month, they may still qualify. Or if they have any racial issues, any debts, anything like that, this particular income can help offset any debts. So this is definitely a big deal saver currently at the time. Something, if you want to go back, at the bottom there, we also talk about when we talk to your home buyers is we remind them that this particular tax credit, since they're not going to see it until they start filing their tax returns, and we showed you on the tax return example that it's going to increase their refund. Sometimes we'll remind the home buyer that if they're borrowing more money or at a higher interest rate, their mortgage payment's going to be higher. So we let them know, since they're going to have this tax credit when they file their income tax returns, they can actually go adjust their withholdings on their paychecks, on their pay stubs, to tell their employer, I don't want you to take out as much money, so that their check will be bigger, their take home is bigger, which is going to help them make their mortgage payment. And then when we're talking to our real estate friends, we let them know, especially with current prices, that if home buyers didn't qualify for a certain dollar amount, these particular 166, this additional income to their loan can help them qualify for more house. So there's a win-win for your home buyers, your lenders, and your real estate agents. Okay. And so a little bit about ourselves, our homeownership team. Again, you've met me, Patty Gonzalez, and then we have Mario and Suzanne that are pretty much running the program. Okay, the MCC program has its own website, its own email, its own phone number. This particular staff is actually in the office, so we meet with your home buyers in the office. We can do online, they can submit it through our portal, make payments online and such. So there is a team just designated to the MCC program. Now, why should you recommend this to your home buyers? Okay, so it helps your home buyers qualify for a higher loan amount. Okay, again, saving a lot of deals right now. There's over $50,000 of savings for the homeowner over the next 30 years. Okay, so, with your home buyers is we try to get them in their homes and now they've purchased. Well, this is going to be a benefit that's going to help them out for the next 30 years. So that's something that's comforting, knowing that they're going to have this extra money coming their way now that they're in their home. CIC will feature you on our social media channels. There's a unique opportunity to help Arizona residents. Okay, so PIMA IDA is one of only a handful of programs in the country that provide this support. Okay, so it's not offered in every state. There's maybe 4 or 5 other states that offer the program, but again, we are the only ones that administer it for the entire state of Arizona. Another plus is there is no class that's required for the home buyer, which is something you see a lot with the down payment assistance programs, and it will not slow down your closing process. Okay, we try to stay out of the closing process as much as possible. We meet with your home buyer, get all the application done, all that process done, and then you usually won't hear back from us until closing time to see if the fee was collected at closing, and then we collect a couple closing documents from your lender. But otherwise, we're really not involved in the process at all. And then your happy home buyers equals more referrals, especially at tax time. When you got your home buyers now filing their tax returns and they're getting their refunds, they'll remember, who set them up in the program and is helping make their mortgage payment or help do repairs, things like that, because that's an extra $2,000 is very helpful.
So my name is.
No, sorry, we got a quick. We're doing pretty good on time. Okay, so we have a couple videos that are following up. We actually have a certificate holder, and then we have another video that specifically talks about the CIC, so the MCC program, what I just went through in a quick little video that's very beneficial to share when you're just trying to hear home buyer, here's some information about the MCC program pretty quick. And then after that, we'll do some Q&A. So we'll listen to Ed.
Ed Monhay. And I actually was presented this option by my friend who was worked for Nova Home Loans and suggested the program. So and he mentioned he recommended it, and so he's a good friend. So I went ahead and enrolled with it, and I've been pretty happy since. For myself, my taxes, I overpay, so I get money back every year. And this just adds to that. So I get a nice lump sum for myself at the end of the year, which I always look forward to.
Okay, so how to share with interested home buyers. Okay, so we understand that explaining the benefit of the program is tricky. I mean, that we try to hold these sessions quarterly just because it's a lot of information, especially when we're talking about tax returns. And especially tax returns has nothing to do necessarily with the home buying process. So it's kind of something else to try to explain. So we've created this quick video that you can share with your home buyers to kind of explain the process in, I don't know, 90 seconds or something.
Are you buying a home? Would you like to save up to $50,000 over the life of your mortgage? If you are a first-time home buyer or a U.S. military veteran home buyer, enrolling in the Mortgage Credit Certificate Program from Community Investment Corporation can help you save up to $2,000 per year. How? A Mortgage Credit Certificate, or MCC, allows homeowners to claim a special tax credit every year, reducing the amount of their federal income tax. This is not a tax deduction, but a dollar-for-dollar tax credit. Homeowners can claim 40% of what they've paid in mortgage interest throughout the year back on their taxes, up to $2,000. This tax credit is available every year that you continue to hold a mortgage and live in the home. It can add up to a savings of over $50,000. Let's take a look at how it works. After calculating your taxes, suppose that you owe $3,000 in federal tax. With the MCC program, you can take a credit up to $2,000 against these taxes, reducing the amount that you owe to just $1,000. It's that easy, even if you are owed a tax refund. For example, let's say you owed that $3,000 in federal taxes, but $5,000 was withheld from your paychecks throughout the year. Normally, you would be owed a tax refund of $2,000. But with an MCC, you can still claim up to $2,000 against your taxes, which increases your refund to $4,000 instead. And saving money isn't the only benefit. Enrolling in the Mortgage Credit Certificate Program can also increase your buying power when qualifying for a home loan, helping you to purchase a home that might have been out of your price range before. Talk to your mortgage loan officer to see if this is an option for you. So, who can enroll in the MCC program? There are a few qualifications you must meet. First, you must be purchasing a home in the state of Arizona. Second, you must be either a first-time home buyer, which means you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, or you must be a U.S. military veteran. And finally, your annual income and the purchase price of the home must fall below certain limits. These limits may vary by county, and the most up-to-date information about program limits is available online. If you think you will qualify for the MCC program, visit our website to apply. Applications must be received before you close on your home. Learn more at cictucson.org/MCC. The CIC stands for Community Investment Corporation. We are a financial empowerment nonprofit, and our mission is to give all members of our community access to the knowledge and financing they need to pursue new opportunities. The Mortgage Credit Certificate Program does just that. With an MCC, first-time and veteran home buyers can put more money in their pockets for years to come.
Okay, so I will go quickly through the questions that are currently in the chat, and then we'll open it up. There was a question about the PowerPoint. There will be a follow-up email that's going to go out with the PowerPoint and a survey, asking what you thought of the presentation and how often would you like to do these presentations. I'm also available to go out to your offices and present to your teams about the program. If you have lunch and learns, if you're doing realtor presentations, home buyer presentations, anything like that, we are looking to build relationships with everybody in the entire state to go out and talk about the program. So that's something that will go out with the follow-up email that I'm available to go out and do. And then there's a question if the credit goes away after the funds in 2025. The funds that are through 2025 means home buyers that they can actually be purchasing through the year 2025 and still get into the program. Programs never run out of funds. It'll be 35 years in 2025. So hopefully we keep going. That'll be exciting. I hope it's a forever thing, but no, their credit does not go away. Once they get into the program, the certificate's actually good for 30 years. They have an expiration date on their certificate. So as long as they're paying interest, they can claim the credit on their tax returns. Now there's the $500 fee if it's part of their closing costs. So it can be paid up front. It could be collected at closing, considered a closing cost, or once they close in their home, they can make payments directly to us on a payment plan. So, we will work with the home buyer to see what best fits their needs. And then, yes, definitely Juan Carrillo. It is a game changer. It's something that's saving a lot of deals at the moment. So we're happy to be hearing from people, and this is our biggest year of issuing certificates. So that's a big plus. We've exceeded our goal this year of certificates because, again, there's plenty of funds. Okay, money doesn't run out. It has not run out. So we have plenty of funds to issue 800 certificates a year. And this year, hopefully, we'll be getting to 200 certificates. So funding there is. Let's see, let me scroll down here.
Patty, can I jump in? There's a question. Somebody is asking, my understanding is that we cannot use the credit to aid in the income calculation any longer. Is that something for sure that Fannie / Freddie Mae / FHA will still allow?
As far as I know, they're still allowing it. I don't know if there's a certain loan product that may not be allowing it, but FHA for sure I know is still allowing it. We're in the process right now, closing deals. I see I got Bettina on here. She might know if she's she's my go-to on mortgages and knows about that, but I don't even know if she's listening to me. But as far as I know, it's still been fine. So it just might depend on the loan product, but I haven't heard differently. Okay, there you are, Bettina. I see you unmuted.
Yeah, I like to talk to myself. Sorry, it's muted. So the only program that doesn't allow for income is going to be VA. It's used to help for residual income.
Thank you.
Okay. And then
Patty,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Should I hop on to another question?
Yeah, I think at the Yuma County.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So yep, Yuma County is included, the entire state. And we're definitely looking into expanding into Yuma County. We're reaching out to representatives out there to start something with Yuma County. We posted here the target area map, the shortcut, to get to our website. Yes, we will be sending you the videos of this presentation and that short video. That's very helpful. We send that out to the home buyers. The qualifications. So if all qualifications are good, minus only being right outside a target area, is that still okay to apply? I know, can you explain that? I'm sorry, did I read that different? So as long as they meet the qualifications, if they're buying in a non-target area, there's income and purchase price limits that they have to meet. If that property happens to be the target area, they just get higher income limit, higher purchase price limits, and they don't have to be a first-time home buyer. So hopefully that answered that question. We attached the survey. And then what if you have a client and they qualify for the MCC, buy a home, then a year later buy another home? Do they still qualify? The home that they purchased is supposed to be their primary residence. And that's the interest, as long as they're paying interest and that is their primary residence and claiming the credit, as far as I know, that's fine. Now, if they go and purchase another property as an investment, but don't move into it, they get to keep the credit. Okay, so it's for their primary residence. And then it says here, would they reapply? So you wouldn't reapply for the other house that they're purchasing. The credit is good for the house that they just purchased. Now they'd have to sell it and wait to buy the new one. They'd have to wait 3 years to buy that new one, if that makes sense. Is there a fee for renewed MCC for refinance? There is no refinance fee. Okay, there's just some paperwork that the home buyer fills out, and it's just some closing documents again, because we're confirming the loan amount and the new mortgage lender. Can the fee be paid by the seller as part of concessions towards closing costs? Yes, the fee can be paid by whomever. Okay, it can be directly to CIC, or if it's collected at closing, your title company will cut the fee. The lender can pay it, the buyer, anyone can pay the fee. Bettina made the comment there about the VA for residual income. And who do we pay the fee to? Okay, so that's the fee gets paid to CIC, and it's again either collected at closing and the title company would pay us. It's something you can come into the office or mail it if you're going by check, or you can go on their website and pay on a credit card or debit. Do you know if Home Plus allows the program to help qualify? It does. Home Plus is a loan product similar to Pima Tucson Home Buyer Solutions, same concept. And as far as I know, that is the loan product does allow you to use the MCC. That you can combine them with also with other down payment assistance programs. Yes, this is great news for Cochise County. We've actually been doing quite a bit out there in Bisbee and Sierra Vista is where we've been getting a lot of this in Cochise County. Stefan, I haven't had issues. We did podcasts, and it's definitely something, to get the information out. Definitely interested in having you come to the office. Sounds great, fun, exciting. And then for the $100 yearly fee, where does this come out of? So that we bill the home buyer. Okay, so we bill the home buyer, let them know, hey, you have this program, go claim the credit, make sure you utilize the benefit, and then they would pay us. They pay CIC, it's their renewal fee. And again, by check or call us, we'll take their payment over the phone, or they can do it online. And then please reach out to me, appreciate that. Do you need a home buyer certificate? And that's a class. No, they do not need to take a class for the MCC program. It's usually your down payment assistance programs that require a class. And do they get the certificate if we show the CD paid at closing, and how do you prove it? So when they apply for the program, we actually issue an approval letter that says they're in the process of applying, and what's pending is the closing documents and that program fee. And once they do close and we do receive that fee and the closing documents, we do issue a certificate. So the certificate actually goes out to the home buyer and to the lender. So both parties will receive a copy of that approval letter and the certificate when they close.
Patty, there's one more question in the chat. What are the steps if we think we have a borrower that can use this program? Do we just have to call you directly? Do we give you a heads up? We have a potential borrower who can use this, and then do you contact them? What is the best practice?
Okay, well, all the above. However they make their way to us is great. We actually have the MCC email. We normally have the lenders introduce the home buyer to the MCC email, say, I have this home buyer that's interested. And that's usually for us, we will respond with our script that says, here's the application, here's a video on how to complete the application, or you can upload it on the website, you can make an appointment. So email has been the best way to make it happen faster. If you want to do the introduction, that way, you don't lose the home buyer along the way. Again, we are a nonprofit, so we don't compete with you guys in any way. We're not lenders, we're not realtors. So, they'll make their way back to you guys. They can also, if you want to just send them to, or give them our phone number, in Tucson it's 520-466-4MCC, and they can call us and schedule whatever's most convenient for them. And again, otherwise the application is also available on the website. So, but we have found that the introduction via email has been the most successful, and we respond pretty much immediately. Okay, because we have Suzanne that watches that email. That's what she does, is in the MCC email all day long. So, whatever's most convenient for your buyer. Some people don't do email. Okay, so then you just send them to our office and we'll meet with them in person and get everything done. So there's the application details, the website, the email, the phone number. Again, whatever's easiest for your home buyer, but we are pretty much here, Monday through Friday, and are available to work with them. And we can issue an approval within 24 hours. Our turnaround time is pretty quick. I saw the question here about the $100 renewal fee can be paid after they file. So yes, we normally request that it's due March 1st, but we actually do give an extension and through the end of April, since taxes are due April 15th, so that they can make sure they did utilize the program. So typically they end up being collected at the end of April. I think that's all of them. Does anybody have, it seems like I'm talking really fast. Does anybody have any questions? Again, if you registered for the program, you'll be getting this video and all the information in a follow-up email. And yeah, I definitely look forward to hearing from people to get scheduled to go out to your places and get the information out. Okay, let's just like an awkward silence, all these people and no videos. So yeah, well, and thank you and enjoy the rest of your day and holiday on Friday for most of us. And yeah, thank you for joining us. I know time is valuable and we appreciate you guys being here.